know what was said, but Strofe said, don't listen. So here's what Wilde and Tausch from 9 to noon across ESPN Wisconsin had to say.
I'll tell you this about Nordy. I do my KBN hit on Tuesdays. Those three all think alike now. They all think alike.
No.
No, I'm telling you, I got on with them yesterday, and all they want to do is complain. Oh, there's no urgency. This team, they stink. They're not going to get any better. Oh, da, da, da. And I'm looking at it like I'm saying, Brust, you were a freshman. Were you the same player as a freshman as you were as a senior? You can't. That's apples to oranges. I said, no, it's not. It's so frustrating. Listen, they just want to rail on everything. Oh, this stinks. This stinks. You realize that we weren't that bad a team last year, and they're young, and they could actually get better. They wanted to hang up on me. I wanted to hang up on them, and thankfully we both did. That's where we were at yesterday.
They think he stinks. He's terrible.
Yeah, and all three of them have the same thoughts on it.
There's a little group think going on there. I'm not going to disagree.
It's so funny because, and this is the part that's irritating. I'm not going to. Okay.
Continue. Wow. I just think that other.
That, Wilde and Tausch this morning, 9 to noon across ESPN Wisconsin. Go ahead, Kyle.
There's a little group think going on there. I'm not going to disagree.
Who said, is that Jesse Nelson in the background?
Of course it's Jesse Whitey Tighty's hall monitor Nelson.
What's funny to me is they're accusing us of groupthink, while meanwhile the entire 1 minute they themselves are engaging in groupthink.
That's factual.
Oh yeah, you're right. That KBN. Oh, this and that.
This guy stinks. That guy stinks.
Yeah.
No examples. It's like no true examples. Just the generalization. These guys, they're not gonna this. No actual example.
And we've never said the Packers stink. Never. That is Tausch manipulating the narrative.
He did it, and that's when I got to the point of like, all right, we're hanging up on you, you're hanging up on us, we hang up on each other at the same time. My thing was that when Goody headed into the free agency period, I wanted to see the urgency that he wanted, and he himself said at the NFL owners meeting, it's the organization, it's all encompassing. And he believed that he moved in free agency urgently. He said it in his quote. So when I look at what the Packers did they get better at the offensive line? Yes. But we're looking at two position groups. We're having the same conversation in heading into 2025 that we had heading into 2024. Someone's going to emerge within the wide receivers and the defensive line. And ultimately, it's hard for me to sit here and trust that based off the amount of times that we've just been like, okay, it's going to happen. Well, what's the evidence as to why it's going to happen?
See, the thing is when people don't have real reasons or rationales and they can't utilize facts and historical context to be able to give you a straight answer, this is what they do. They start throwing out names and insults because on Wilde and Tausch, they clearly can't fight back on the fact and the truth that this Green Bay Packer team, they're less excited going into the 2025 season than they are in the 2024 season. There's less optimism for this Green Bay Packer team, and it all falls on the fact that Goody did not get any pieces this offseason that can help the areas that we really needed. Obviously, the offensive line was fine. It was okay, but we have an upgrade. We get that. But the offensive line wasn't the big issue. The biggest issue was the fact that you did not have a number one wide receiver emerge, and we're talking about guys need time. All right, you know what? You want to use freshman to sophomore year? From freshman year to junior year, Ben Brust became a little star on our for Wisconsin basketball program. But you know who?
I did lead the team in points that year, my junior year.
You know who didn't become a star? Romeo Dobbs hasn't become a star. Christian Watson still hasn't become a star, and he still has injury issues. Yes, he played most of last season, but guess what? It still ended in injury issues. Tay Wicks did not take the next step because he had an issue catching the football.
You're just on wide receivers right now.
I'm just talking about wide receivers. I'm not even talking about the super seniors on the damn defensive line.
The
problem that I have is that they want to act like there isn't issues and there isn't problems, but they're glaring holes on this team that have not been addressed. So we are not being haters toward Goody. This isn't groupthink. This is us applying what our eyes and our brain is telling us is that this football team did not take the necessary steps to get to the point where they're going to truly compete for championships this season.
And for those who say the draft is still coming, I get that. But how many times do you have evidence that a first-round pick who usually has the best opportunity to make a year-one impact, how many times has that happened over the last 4 years? I'm waiting.
Exactly.
Quay Walker, there was issues. He wasn't able to make the plays. Devontae Wyatt, we were like, oh, in spurts, flashes. You can then fast forward to Lucas Van Ness, who was the 13th overall pick. That's a spot where you need production. Then you move to Jordan Morgan, who's going to be competing for the left tackle position. He had injuries, but he's still going to be competing for the left tackle position against the 7th round pick, who is serviceable, but you need your first round picks to make that impact. Has Goody done well the last couple drafts, finding guys to plug and play and making this team better? Yes. But we're looking at this as expectations to make a championship roster based on what's happening all around you in the NFC. Not to mention, on Willie and Tausch, the conversation that started the majority of Packers fans' optimism heading into free agency was our very own Rob Domofsky of ESPN.com joining Willie and Tausch, talking about how it sounds like through agents that the Packers are going to be very aggressive, and he cited the position groups that we're talking about. Cornerback, wide receiver, and defensive line. They did sign Nate Hobbs, and we'll get to Jair Alexander. But the other two weren't addressed in free agency. And we're coming to the conclusion that there are going to be pieces added to the draft, but I'm not going to sit here and expect those pieces to be able to make that impact.
And it's not your
based
fault.
off of the evidence of the past.
It's nobody's fault that we're thinking this way but Goody. It is on Goody that he has not been able to find guys in the first round that can be as impactful for this football team year one. We have too many guys that we keep talking about the college thing here, redshirting year one. Too many guys that we're waiting for year two and year three to make those jumps. I need a guy for the Green Bay Packers to get in the first round this year that is going to contribute to this roster. I need more of a guy who they got in the second round, Edgerrin Cooper. I need the Edgerrin Cooper impact. I need the Evan Williams impact, but I need it from a first round pick because those guys are good. But when you get a guy in the first round and you hit on them, that potential is always through the roof.
Well, and Jason came on our program, KBN, and said that on average, I believe it's 1.6 guys per draft class. You're talking about 6 to 10 dudes. 1.6 earn a second contract. So by that reasoning, we absolutely are in the right to start judging and evaluating these guys that are going into their fourth year. Like Romeo Dobbs. He's going into his fourth and final year of the contract. Even Wicks and Reed, and that doesn't even go along with all the guys in the defensive line. They are well into their rookie contracts. If they haven't made the jump now, what makes you believe that they're going to when their NFL life is shrinking? Even Goody says that. Your life in the NFL is short as can be. Some of these guys are already halfway through their career. Think about that, halfway through their career, and they're not making the jump. So what makes us believe that we can go ahead and doing that? And to comment on, us complaining, this and that.
A little bit.
I think a little bit,
yeah.
But I will say, Ben, particularly you, and even Kyle and Strofe, the coaches that were hardest on you, those are the ones that believed in you most, that wanted more out of you.
Correct.
It's the coaches that are easy on you. Let things slide. Let things go under the rug. Those are the ones
Trust
where it's
this
like,
process.
yeah, it's just, you know what? I'm not going to press you. It's you just do you. It's the coaches.
If this was a
in my life.
veteran-laden team, I get that.
Yeah.
But it's a young team. And when you have a young team in the NFL that you're looking to try and continue to build on, you have to be hard on these guys. You have to look at it as like, all right, after this season, are we going to have more answers than questions?
Yeah, and to wrap up my thought of it, we are just using their words. I mean, Goody said he wants to compete for a championship. He has a sense of urgency. So we are following that same formula to evaluate this team. If he just said, look, we are doing what we are seeking to do. We want to contend every year. We want to be in the mix. We want to stay young. We know championships will come here and there. That's not the words he's using. He says we're
ready to win championships now.
We're ready to win championships, and we should have a sense of urgency. So us as KBN, we are in lockstep with you, Goody. How do we go ahead and do that?
We judge the actions by which he goes about building the roster. And not to mention, we are also utilizing the words of said Wildy and Tausch. Wildy talking about draft picks. Tausch talking about, I remember asking him, I was like, when do you know, like, if you got it figured out? Year 2, year 3. We're talking about super seniors on the defensive line, as Kyle mentioned. We're talking about these Romeo Dobbs and Christian Watsons. And again, I'll wait on Jaden Reed. I get that. He's 2 800-yard seasons. Can he put the consistency together year 3? It's going to be harder when you don't have Christian Watson and you bring him a Cole Hardman. You're like, he's going to replace Christian Watson. That don't damn work like that. We know that.
Yeah, no, I'm just disappointed in Wildy and Tausch on being able to be sold
The
dreams.
D word.
No, I am. I'm disappointed that they buy into the what if scenarios. They buy into all these hypotheticals. But if they Come on now. Y'all better than that. You know, Tausch, you played in the NFL, and I told him yesterday, it didn't take him 3 seasons, 4 seasons to get it going. Tausch came in, and he became a bookend tackle just like that. Wildy, he came in, he was covering Super Bowls pretty quickly after he graduated. It didn't take him years to develop.
Brian Balaga on there?
Yeah,
he started right away. No problems.
And so why are we not? We should be holding them to a higher standard. Y'all just mad because we have a higher standard than you all do. If they're okay with competing, then fine. But I want to win championships.
Over to the KBN Sports Desk with Alex Stroh.
Kyle, didn't you work here for 11 years before you got in the daily lineup?
No.
Yeah, but he wasn't a projected first-round pick.
Wait,
or a contributor right away to good
Kyle
cover
was a
brands.
drafted free agent.
He was like a
Super Bowls out of college. So
Kyle was like a undrafted free agent that was on the practice squad for 7 years. And they're going to make a movie out of him.
To be honest, I was no. I was.
He's like Vince Papale.
No, I was a first-round draft pick that decided to go play baseball instead.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I got drafted.
And you came back, you circled back after some time in the minors?
Yeah, after time in the minors. I'm a miracle story. What can I say? I'm Ben Bruss. I'm a miracle story.
A walking miracle? Mm-hmm. All right, so how do we measure success? I want to know from KBN Nation how you're measuring success next year. If you're not in the KBN lockstep of trying to figure out how to build a championship roster, how are you looking at success next year? Is it getting past the wild card and continuing to build into 2026?
That's Woody and Tausch. That's theirs. I can give you their answer.
They gave us our answer in their 1 minute
playoffs. They're making the playoffs.
Young guys are going to grow.
Yeah, no, that's
we've been talking about this. If you guys want to have the same conversation on Woody and Tausch and just go through the motions and do that, go ahead. But I'm, as Brad said, holding to a higher standard based off the audio and sound we've heard from Goody this entire offseason. 800-990-3776 is the Carbless Talk and Text line. Liz is more. 800-990-3776. All right, everyone, Strofe, Brad, Kyle, myself, KBN Nation, everyone needs an answer. How are you measuring success for the Green Bay Packers next year? I know there's a draft still, but it still shouldn't impact what you are expecting from the franchise next year. 800-990-3776. Your expectations for the 2025 Green Bay Packers next.
There's a little group think going on there. I'm not going to disagree.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman.
We've called him Whitey Tighties. We've called him the Hall Monitor. He's Jesse Nelson. Like he's just, I'm Jesse Nelson. Kyle, you're Jesse Nelson.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
That's the idea of a deal. Each side gets wins, right? They have Jordan Love under contract for the next 5 years.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino.
I think Packers fans would sign up for 12-5 today, and maybe they will be.
Right here on 94.5 ESPN and also streaming live on the Wisconsin On Demand app and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so that you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Wisconsin is still cattle country, and that's why Bunzel's chose to stay close to home to hand select the finest beef. Quality goes into everything they do, from Bunzel's expansive array of meats, homemade specialty sausages, and their award-winning beef jerky. It just isn't a proper holiday meal without Bunzel's top quality cuts on the dinner table. Tasting is believing. Visit Bunzel's at 90th and Burleigh or bunzels.com.
Truck crash? Call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
So many of our youth carry unimaginable burdens. Anger, depression, even thoughts of suicide. At Rawhide Youth Services, we recognize their pain. We help them find hope and healing. For those that need a second chance at life, we refuse to give up on them. Please be a part of our life-saving work. When you donate your used vehicle to Rawhide, you're helping change the lives of countless youth in our communities. Go to rawhide.org/donate and help them realize a brighter future today.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion, or your first big lightning strike, There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Did you know that Wisconsin has a new, quick, and free online tax filing tool called IRS Direct File? Direct File is changing how people file their taxes and bringing more money into our state through the federal Earned Income Tax Credit and Child Tax Credit. File your federal and state taxes online directly with the IRS from your smartphone or computer. On average, file in less than 1 hour. Available in English and Spanish. Visit directfile.irs.gov to see if you're eligible. Sponsored by United Way of Wisconsin.
Hey, it's Brad Nortman, and I've got to tell you about my go-to car wash, Tsunami Express. Get your ride looking its best and ride the wave at Tsunami Express Car Wash, Milwaukee's fan favorite for that perfect shine. Sign up for a monthly membership and enjoy unlimited washes for less than $1 a day. Skip the wait with the fast lane and take advantage of great perks. With locations in Midtown Milwaukee, Waukesha, Greenfield, Oak Creek, and Mount Pleasant, Tsunami Express has you covered. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Visit TsunamiExpress.com to learn more.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
You're listening to Kyle Bruston Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin. It's Weed Man Wednesday. Weed Man for the win.
Singing Kumbaya with KBN Nation right now. We want to find a way to make sure the Green Bay Packers are selling us real goods, not fake goods. Ben Bruss, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman. Yes, Kyle?
I'm going to say these is Fakenton Mitchell and Ness jerseys my uncle used to bring back from Vietnam back in the day.
I have no idea what you just said.
Mitchell and Ness. Y'all don't know about Mitchell and Ness?
Yeah, the brand?
Yeah.
Yeah. So back in the day, my uncle, he had somebody who was in the military, used to get jerseys from Vietnam, not always real branded stuff. So, like fake Louis Vuitton and all that stuff. I said that's how fake it is.
Okay, that's Kyle's opinion on Goody and the Green Bay Packers.
You are a weird person.
I have some weird,
there's
weird
people who heard
movie
that
deep references, and
Remember we used to wear jerseys back when we were kids?
Of course.
Yeah, like actual
How
jerseys.
you still wear jerseys?
I don't. I wish I did. I wish it was still popular because I have a lot of them.
All right, so on YouTube, at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison, Jalen chimes in, Love better be a top 5 QB, wide receivers better make a jump, LaFleur better be a coach that isn't weak with plays. If Love is the same or worse, it is a failure and Goody would need to go. Now, different perspective. The Packers have never been a championship or bust franchise. It's all about being competitive. The goal has always been making the playoffs, no different than the Cowboys. But the difference here is Goody talked about how it is time to win championships. The general manager laid out what he believes is possible for this team. So I want to know what your expectations are, not what the Packers have done as a franchise, but based off what Goody has said, what are your expectations?
Well, it even kind of blows my mind because, Ben, you said, which is true, 15 years since this team has even been to a Super Bowl. So there's walking around like a 20-year-old Packer fan that doesn't quite remember that Super Bowl. They're maybe 4 or 5 years old, and they're 20 years old, and they've never experienced it, at least can pull it out of memory. By the time I was 20 years old, I had a Brett Favre Super Bowl and an Aaron Rodgers Super Bowl as a Packer fan. And the fact that the drought has gotten so bad that in that amount of time, there's like a 20-year-old walking around that hasn't experienced that seems to me like something needs to change to start to actually get back to being the title town team that the Green Bay Packers want to be. So
Damn, you just aged all of us right there. You put myself where I was when the Packers won the Super Bowl in 2010.
Absolutely.
And there's people right now that are in college that may have faint memories of that, but no real memories.
That's right. I mean, it's a long way away right now. So when I think about this team, I think about the Packers in general. I mean, making the playoffs, not winning the NFC North, wild card team, not hosting a playoff game at Lambeau, it's not good enough anymore. I mean, I appreciate it. And look, let me be honest. I got friends in Jacksonville and Carolina. Now they just
Brad, you played for both teams.
Yes, and so I've got a lot of connections there. So played for the Panthers and the Jags. And I talked to them, and they're like, look, we just want our falls to be fun. We just want to be relevant. We want hope. Yeah. Making the playoffs would be amazing. And that is a reasonable expectation for any fan group. So if the Packer fans view it that way, then they're living a good life, because there are teams that would strive for that. But I gather that Packer fans, that's not good enough, right? Just to have eventful falls and hope on Sundays throughout the season and make the playoffs and shucks, maybe this will be the year. I gather it's championships and Super Bowls that they want. So for me, for this team upcoming here, man, it's got to be NFC Championship game. Get to the NFC Championship, at least that way. You are knocking on the door of a Super Bowl, and in Jordan Love's time, I mean, you got to get one. You got to get one.
Couple of responses here that are worthy of the Carbless talk and text line 800-990-3776. I think this is interesting from Jack here. Success for Green Bay in 2025 should be or could be an NFC Championship appearance, a record above 500 against playoff teams. And I like this. A drafted player appointed to being All-Pro. And I'm not even going to say a 2025 drafted player, because you can give Goody credit. Credit, again, this is what will be missed in the conversation. He gets credit for Xavier McKinney and Josh Jacobs. But part of the Packer strategy is very much based off of draft and develop. It just is. Everyone knows that. So part of that is hitting on your draft picks and developing them. So like, say, an Edgerrin Cooper, who goes from two-time defensive NFC Player of the Week to a consistent player that you can be in that all-pro conversation. Over here, we also have on YouTube at least the divisional round, but they need to make the NFC title game or it's a failure. So there's an at least there. There's a range, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for what the expectations are for the Packers after what Goody said and what the actions have been. 800-990-3776.
And I want to be very clear with everybody. If we thought the Green Bay Packers were a bad football team, we would not bestow them with these high expectations. Because when we know going into that 2023 season, we didn't have high expectations because we had a young roster, we had a brand new quarterback, we didn't know what we were going to get. But once you show me your potential, once you show me how good you are and how great you can be, that's when I start assigning high expectations on a football team. So when I look at this Green Bay Packers organization, it's not my fault that I feel this way, that I want to win championships. There isn't another place walking around talking about Title Town. When you hear about Title Town, you hear about Lambeau Field,
Lombardi
the
Trophy
of
coming
that,
home.
Vince Lombardi Trophy coming home, as you said, Brad, as well. When you talk about one of the greatest franchises ever, all the winning that they do, a model of success, historic quarterback play from Bart Starr to Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers, and oh my gosh, they did it again with Jordan Love. If that is what the conversation is about, then we need to have high standards and high expectations for this football team. So when I look at the 2025 season, I expect the Green Bay Packers to either win the NFC North to reestablish that they are on top, because before it didn't matter to me like that, but now it matters because you have been dethroned, and the fact that you went 1-5. If 1-5 in the division last year, you got something to prove, because you did not do very well against any of those teams, including the Chicago Bears, because we're a fingertip away from being 0-6 in the division this year, right? We won a lot of football games, but we got to be better in the NFC North, which will lead to us having a better overall record, which also, if we win the NFC North, I feel good about our playoff seeding. But then on top of that, the Packers have made the playoffs already. Check. They've done that. The Green Bay Packers have won a playoff game. Check. They've done that. Now the next step for my Green Bay Packers is you got to get to the NFC Championship. You have to do it. And don't tell me that it's hard to do, because we watched a rookie quarterback take a pretty above average Washington Commander football team that got better during the season, but we saw
where the expectations were not for them to make the playoffs.
And they had a mixture of young and old people on that roster, and they made it to an NFC Championship game. So that is absolutely possible. So I understand saying NFC Championship, that's not easy, but it shouldn't be easy for the Packers, because if they make it to the NFC Championship, then they're right back on track. That gives them an opportunity to go to the Super Bowl, and more importantly, it puts in their head, boys, we're getting closer. We're taking steps in the right direction.
Well, and this is a compliment for the Packers, right? Because they are a marquee franchise, right?
They're a brand.
Anywhere you go in the U.S., there are Packers. Internationally now, there are Packer fans. They're in the same conversation with the Yankees, the Lakers, Duke, UNC basketball, all these big brands where they look at it and they say, we expect greatness. We don't just expect to be in the mix and be competitive. That is a standard that is high. That's a compliment to the Green Bay Packers, and it's enjoyable for the fans. However, you can't, by my judgment, right? since 1995, right, when Favre really took over, really started hammering home, and like the good times of Green Bay returns, 1995. Teams that have had a better stretch over that time to now, over the last 30 years. Philadelphia Eagles, Kansas City Chiefs, New England Patriots. I don't think that that's really arguable based on Super Bowl championships, appearances, MVPs, all that kind of stuff. But mostly Super Bowls that we're talking about. And then teams in the same like realm as the Packers since that time. Seattle Seahawks, Denver Broncos, LA Rams, Pittsburgh. I'm going to throw the Ravens and San Francisco out of there. But those are a handful of teams that have been to 3 Super Bowls and won 1 or 2. That's what the Packers have done over that time too. That's just not good enough for a brand that is the same as the Yankees, the Lakers, Duke. It's an amazing conversation and group to be a part of, but with that comes a lot of expectations.
And the Green Bay Packers have not lived up to that.
Yeah, 800-990-3776. Nick chimes in. Used to be common knowledge that the biggest jump is year 2 to year 3, but in this microwave society of instant gratification, it's just like, again, like we're talking about guys that are not year 2 to year 3. There's plenty of guys on the roster that have been year 2 to year 3 that are no longer on this team that Goody drafted from when he started drafting back in 2017, I believe. That was the Jair year. You get my point.
Might be right.
Jalen chimes in, and also, I like this from Love and Football. Green Bay should be expected to be what the Eagles have been the past 20 years. Several NFC title appearances, multiple Super Bowls, even one is a loss. Always in the thick of it. He says, now we become the Steelers of the last 10 years. So the Packers, the Steelers of the last 10 years?
A lot of history that goes with them. A competitive football team, but
making the playoffs, but just never quite getting there.
But never getting there, right? And Mike Tomlin, listen, he's a great football coach. They're a good football team. You know they're going to be tough. They're going to be gritty. They're going to be there each and every year. But not getting over the hump is something that frustrates that fan base just like it frustrates us.
And ironically, Aaron Rodgers looks like he's going to be walking right into that franchise. Unbelievably. Aaron Rodgers just can't get enough of it.
It is a Weed Man Wednesday here on Kyle Bruston Nortman, and I am getting excited because it is April now, and it's time to start thinking about what's going to be going on locally, all the buzz and the excitement around Green Bay. And if you're a football fan, Verizon is giving you a chance to win the ultimate draft experience with the Road to the Draft sweepstakes. 10 lucky winners are going to win tickets to the first day of the 2025 NFL Draft in Green Bay, including round-trip car service from Milwaukee, hotel accommodations, plus access to the Verizon viewing zone. We're going to be taking care of like a first-round pick. Don't miss your chance at the ultimate draft experience powered by Verizon. Hurry to those select Verizon locations to enter by April 13th. No purchase necessary to enter. Must be legal U.S. resident of Wisconsin or Illinois, age 21 years or older to enter. Void where prohibited. For official rules, that's ESPNWisconsinContest.com. What are your expectations? Want to know them from you. 800-990-3776. Whole lot more to get to on Kyle Bruston Nortman next.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN.
I think it's clear.
Yeah, and if Doc replicates what Booty did last year, or all I'm saying
Come on, guys! His name is Coach Bud!
If he replicates
Coach Booty!
What Coach Bud
on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
No shortcuts, no compromises, just the job done right. At Exterior Pros, we don't just meet expectations, we crush them. Every nail, every window, every shingle is a step toward your home's next chapter. From the moment we start until that final reveal, we're committed to making your home better than ever. Quality products and craftsmanship you can count on. Go to the pros for your next project. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274.
What's up, guys? We're back this year with my annual Home Plate Charity Concert presented by American Family Insurance. We'll be at the Pabst Theater on April 17th with performances from the Goo Goo Dolls and the Nicotine Dolls. Proceeds will benefit Live Like Lou, Visit Milwaukee, and the Brewers Community Foundation. There are sponsorship opportunities and tickets on sale now, so click the link in my bio to check it out, and I'll see you there.
Christian Yelich's Home Plate Charity Concert, presented by American Family Insurance, April 17th at the Pabst Theater. Get your tickets now at visitmilwaukee.org/Yelich.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman here with some great news from my friends at Bank 59. For a limited time, you can earn as much as 4.8% on one of their CD specials. With 9, 17, and 25-month options, you're sure to find a CD that fits your needs while you earn a great return. It's simply another way Bank 59 is making lives better in our communities. Hurry! These high rates won't last long. Check out bank59.com/CD for more details. Member FDIC.
I think one of the things that patients don't realize is that when they get a joint replacement, that's not a lifetime treatment option. And they're probably, if they are a younger patient, signing up for multiple surgeries down the road.
As a physician and medical director for QC Kinetics, Dr. Caravelli's seen a pattern of trending joint pain. Prolonged medication, steroids, then surgery, possibly another surgery.
So a lot of our patients are trying to avoid or put off surgery, and this is the treatment that can help them do that.
QC Kinetics extracts your body's healing substances, concentrates them back into your aching joints to help heal and restore those areas, providing lasting relief.
Oh, I love being able to tell my patients, before we do this surgery, let's try another option. Let's see if this is right for you, because now they might not have to have surgery at all.
Call today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
There's a winning magic powering up at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. This April, prepare for an exciting quest to $300,000 in the Enchanted Spin Slot Tournament. Just conjure your rewards card and play slots to earn drawing entries. Each Thursday, 60 winners will compete for thousands in cash and prizes. Let your journey begin with Enchanted Spins, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Slide into your neighborhood Century Food Store to score the freshest produce, tastiest treats, and everything in between. Now through Wednesday, save on 9 to 12 ounce, 10 count, or 32 ounce selected varieties Starbucks coffee, $8.99. 14 ounce or 6 count selected varieties Häagen-Dazs ice cream, $3.99. 4 to 4.5 ounce selected varieties Sargento Balanced Breaks, 2 for $6. 64 ounce selected varieties Sunny Delight, 2 for $3.
Let's get some strawberries.
Attention shoppers. Safe.
Okay. Ooh, pineapple fulfills every need.
While you're shopping, a drive way back, it's a gunner.
There's something goofy going on with the PA.
Need a price check and I'll take me out to the ball game.
See, what is going on?
You're hearing things. We're at Century Foods, and you can't take your mind off winning that ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes.
I'm hoping to throw out the first pitch at a Milwaukee baseball game.
Or attend batting practice.
Or hold the finish line ribbon for the racing sausages.
You don't say.
The ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes at Century Foods. Enter on Century's Facebook or Instagram by July 30th.
It's a Weed Man Wednesday on Kyle Bruston Northman on ESPN Wisconsin. Weed Man for the win.
Ben Bruss, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, UKBN Nation at 800-990-3776. That is the Carbless Talk and Text line. List is more. Bill Johnson chimes in. Billy Boy.
Bill Johnson.
Paraphrasing Animal House, Mark Tauscher is right. Demented and sad, but absolutely right.
Wait a minute, Bill. What are you talking about? He's right.
What's he right about?
It was a very, very long message, so he gives me the license to paraphrase. I don't know if you want to do that, Bill. I'm not good at paraphrasing.
Reading comprehension.
Yeah, Bill, what do you
I said
mean?
just call, Bill. Just call.
There's a little group think going on there. I'm not going to disagree.
I'm disappointed, old Bill Johnson, because I look up to Bill, and knowing that Bill has.
So now you're disappointed in Willie and Tausch and Bill Johnson. It's a big day of disappointment for you.
All the legends are disappointing me. It's a sad day for me that Bill Johnson, somebody who has seen multiple championships of the Green Bay Packers, who have seen the Green Bay Packers transform from a garbage organization to a good one, would sit here and settle for 15 plus years of not winning a title. I'm disappointed, Bill.
You know, it's interesting because there's only two ways I think you can sit back and have the Wilde and Tausch mentality of being satisfied. One is that you actually, I'd go as far as saying have a little bit of maybe blind faith is a little too strong, but blind faith that's all going to work out, right? Like, okay, they're going to take the steps forward. I believe in Goody, and it just all is going to come together when it needs to come together. Or you're satisfied. You're content with the results over the last 15 years, You're going to be a contender. You're going to make the playoffs. Might win a couple games, but you're not getting the Super Bowl. Those are the only two that I can rationalize.
On KBN ESPN, pre-NFL draft poll. Pre-NFL draft, because I'd be curious if this changes after the NFL draft. Prior to the 2025 NFL draft in Green Bay, what are your expectations for this team? Super Bowl, NFC Championship game, divisional, or wild card? I'd love to know of those 4 playoff options, what people are looking towards.
Like what will satisfy them for the 2025
What are your
season?
expectations?
Yeah, and I agree with those options. Not making the playoffs
It's not an option.
Oh, yeah, you don't make the playoffs. This is a
they have the second best odds to win the NFC North. Still, despite us looking at them as a reason to be looking towards a higher level. And it was interesting, even with Homer and John Anderson yesterday on a Tuesday. John Anderson of ESPN. He's like, I'm fine with it. He's like, I'm fine. Of course you're fine with it. I'm fine with it too. Do you want to be fine with it, or do you want to be happy with it?
See, that's where I'm so lost, right? Because when people say things, you start looking in the mirror and say, "Am I the crazy one? Am I crazy
Maybe I'm the problem.
Yeah, am I crazy for wanting a team to win a championship? Like, is that not what we watch for? Is this not what we cheer? Do we just cheer for teams to win games and have fun? Don't we cheer
Mark Antanasio is looking for Brewers fans to do that.
Yeah, and he got destroyed by fans for that. They say sell the team, even though I love him. I'm a big fan of Mark. But
what a wild drop it. Are you looking for a job at the Brewers?
Yeah.
Overall,
Mark, I love Mark Antanasio.
The Brewers.
I don't. Kyle does.
The Brewers organization. When Brad talked about what Jacksonville Jaguars and the Carolina Panthers were, who he played for in the NFL, that's what the Milwaukee Brewers were. So when he came and our team actually became relevant and made the playoffs for the first time in like 18 years, I was very happy with that. But overall, for this Green Bay Packers, they ain't the Brewers. They ain't the Bucks. They have Bucks. They have higher expectations. So hearing people just say, well, it's hard to win championships. Cool, it's hard to win championships. But at what point are we going to say, let's win a dang championship? At what point are we going to say, let's start building a roster that we can be more than just competitive, that we can be a contender? He did it last offseason. He grabbed 2 guys that helped make this team better. Now, what can you do this year? How can you find more guys?
Aaron Banks can help this team be better.
But you need pass rush. It doesn't solve any problems that you have.
And I think nobody here is asking them to be the New England Patriots, right, of the last 20 years, the Kansas City Chiefs. We're just looking for even knocking on the door of a Super Bowl. Because even like the San Francisco 49ers, I mean, they've been to Super Bowls. They haven't won it, but you can't fault them for not going for it and not being relevant and right there to finally win a championship. So a 15-year drought, right? 14 years between Favre and Rodgers. Now 15 years from Rodgers to where Love is at now. I think that's incredibly reasonable. You're talking about once every 15 years. Well, there's only 32 teams.
Where you're consistently in the mix. And if you're okay with that, that is okay. But based off Goody saying it's time to have the urgency to win a championship gets us to where we are today.
And what makes this even worse, if we look at the Kansas City Chiefs, they are.
This is why Willie and Tausch called us complainers.
No, because they're a great. Sure, I'll be a complainer. I'm just pointing out facts. The Kansas City Chiefs are a great organization. But what happened last year? They struggled with drops. And what did they do? They drafted a guy in the first round. They also went out and got DeAndre Hopkins, who, again, he's probably over the hill, but they actually wanted to add pieces that they believe could actually help them make sure that they still stayed at the top. And so that's why when I look at this, it's like good teams do everything they can to stay great. And that's something I feel like the Green Bay Packers don't always do. They're just satisfied with saying we're going to make the playoffs. I look at the Commanders, and what did they do? They say, you know what? This is our window of opportunity. Debo Samuel, come here. We'll take you. Yeah, we're going to figure out what you got. I don't know if Debo still got something left in the tank, but at least they're trying to maximize their window of opportunity. And that is what should be upsetting Packers fans, is that we don't feel like they're actually trying to maximize the window of opportunity. They're just trying to say, hey, let's see what we can do. Let's take shots during this window. But let's not go out there and go for it all. I want the Packers to go for it all.
Well, you know what the risk is, too? The risk is you look back, like we could fast forward 20 years, and the Packers might be, not whatever the opposite of knock on wood is. They might be the Bears. They might be the good years for the Packers might not always be here, right? And
it's fair to say, because there were years where the Packers weren't very good. There are plenty of people that are listening that remember those days, and they remind us when they call in because I remember
70s and 80s where they were bad. So there will come a day in our lifetime where the Packers are not good. They're not going to be good for a decade. The worst thing is you could look back and be like, man, we went from Favre to Rodgers to Love. and we only did blank. Right, those were the golden years of the modern Packers, and they just didn't do enough. You could say the same thing with the Brewers. Brewers are a little bit different because of cap challenges and stuff. But at least for the Milwaukee Bucks, at least they're looking back at the Giannis time, you could say they should have gotten more, but at least they got a championship. So the biggest risk is looking back and being like, you know what? We had it. We were right there. And we just never got over the hump. That might be more frustrating than even just being in those bad years.
Yes, Chris on the Carpless Talking text line. Old T Mark Tauscher was, quote, lighting y'all up today in his mind.
He was crying. That's what he was doing. We're in his mind.
We were under his skin. It was clear.
And you know the thing
called us having groupthink? Well, they were having groupthink.
They were.
I think it's fair to say most shows have groupthink.
And you know what? I'll give you all a little bit behind.
There's a little groupthink going on there. I'm not going to disagree.
When Mark Tauscher came on and started doing all that propaganda mess for the Green Bay Packers, we all looked at each other and said, we about to eat his ass alive. And that's exactly what we did.
Yeah.
And look at him, still crying today about it.
Yeah, he's still ruminating on it 24 hours later. How about that?
KBN Nation, it is a Weed Man Wednesday. And I think that you should start thinking about having that weed-free yard that when somebody walks by, they're going to be like, oh, damn, how did they do that? Well, they did it with Weed Man. You can have that lush green, weed-free yard, making those neighbors stop and stare, and that's where the Weed Man Lawn Care comes in. They use golf course quality fertilizer and effective weed control, and it is kid and pet friendly. That is huge. Having a 14-month-old, having 2 dogs. I asked so many times before I was like, yes. I was like, is this safe? And they took me through the process of how everything works. It's like, oh, so you're using golf course quality fertilizer and effective weed control, and it's kid and pet friendly? Sign me up. Get your free quote by going to weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. Kyle and I got ours. Brad, they're stocking up the Weed Man formula to go to the Nortman estate. Weed Man for the win. Weedman.com to get 50% off. Get a quote. Weedman.com. About to embark on a 6-hour car ride from 7 p. to 1 a.m., all to be the hero of my fiance's brother's wedding weekend.
The hero.
Wow. You heard me. I'll tell you how next.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman.
Ben's pretty good at impersonations.
Hey, he's pretty good.
I
either crush him or suck at him.
He's pretty good at faking it.
Yeah, being a faker.
Yeah, that's
exactly what it is.
Whoa.
That's what acting is.
Why can't we come together?
Yeah,
you're
very creative in faking it. Good job.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. The 2015 Wisconsin men's hoops team gave us all a march to remember.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin with an unbelievable stretch drive to the championship game.
On June 26th, enjoy an intimate celebration with the stars of the run with Made 'em Believe. Presented by M3 Insurance. World-class expertise and individual attention. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe. June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
At Citizens Bank, community banking is you. Growing your business with a partner who gets it. It's you. Buying your first home with a lender who makes it easy. It's you. Building a future with savings that work just as hard as you. And it's us, working together to strengthen our community. Because at Citizens Bank, community banking means you plus us. Visit us at citizensbankwi.bank. Citizens Bank is member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Looking for a totally rad flavor adventure, brochachos? Look no further than Surfer Boy Pizza as seen in Stranger Things. Each mouth-watering variety contains rich tomato sauce, delicious mozzarella cheese, and a gnarly range of toppings. The crust is crispy on the outside and airy on the inside. You'll think it was hand-tossed by the Surfer Boy Pizza dudes themselves. Look for it in the freezer aisle at your local store and buckle up your taste buds with Surfer Boy Pizza.
Bikers need protection, not just from other drivers, but unfortunately from insurance companies too. If you've been injured in a motorcycle crash, call Gruber Law Offices today. Bikers are often blamed for causing the accident because the insurance companies simply don't want to pay. At Gruber Law Offices, we've been fighting for injured bikers and their families for more than 30 years. Trust us to fight for what you deserve. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Escape the city and relax at Lake Lawn Resort in beautiful Delavan, Wisconsin. Enjoy outdoor activities on Delavan Lake. Tee off at the lakeside Majestic Oaks Golf Course or unwind at the award-winning Calidora Spa. With both indoor and outdoor pools, there's fun for the whole family. Take a cruise on the Lake Lawn Queen. Explore stunning shores and historic landmarks and enjoy delicious food and drinks on board. Book your stay today at lakelawnresort.com, where everything is better at the lake.
Hey, it's Brad Nortman, and I've got to tell you about my go-to car wash, Tsunami Express. Get your ride looking its best and ride the wave at Tsunami Express Car Wash, Milwaukee's fan favorite for that perfect shine. Sign up for a monthly membership and enjoy unlimited washes for less than $1 a day. Skip the wait with the fast lane and take advantage of great perks. With locations in Midtown Milwaukee, Waukesha, Greenfield, Oak Creek, and Mount Pleasant, Tsunami Express has you covered. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Visit TsunamiExpress.com to learn more.
Oh my gosh, Allie, did you look at Janet's roof? Ugh, it's like so flat. It looks like one of those roofing contractor commercials.
Who even understands those roofing guys anyways?
I like flat roofs and I cannot lie. You other contractors can't deny. TPO way up high. I'm hooked and I can't stop staring.
If you want a roof that's worth staring at, Avondale Roofing is where you go. Your roofing experts for over 30 years. AvondaleRoofing.com.
Junior achievement is where dreams take flight. We are helping students connect what they learn in school to future work and career success. We are teaching them how to manage money to achieve financial security as adults. And we are showing them that starting a business also means changing lives and communities. However, we can't do it alone. Find out how you can help.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
I can call you Daddy, and Daddy, when you call me, you can call me out.
Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman. 800-990-3776 is the Carbless Talking text line. Less is more. Now, if you do have advice, I'll take it, because I remember asking for advice with like a 3 to 6 month old doing a long drive of 5.5, 6 hours. But this one was a decision made that I think is the right decision, but I'm going to have to bear the brunt of it. Driving from 7 p to 1 a.m. because it's more likely that the daughter sleeps than having to wake up on Thursday morning driving and then having to entertain her till nap time at noon. That being said, we're going to end up getting there. Side note is, if you have any advice for traveling with a 14-month-old, 800-99. What are you writing down? You ain't got no kids.
I know, I'm taking notes here.
You're a long way away, Kyle.
No.
Whoa.
I mean, from a 14 months, you're at least what? 23
Doesn't mean you can't be proactive on your note taking. Brad, you plan like 18 years ahead.
That's fair.
I wasn't planning. I was trying to understand why correct me if I'm wrong. I was a 14-month-year-old one time in my life.
14-month-year-old, huh?
You're funny.
Thanks, guys.
Dynamite dropping.
Yeah. Why can't she just be in the car seat and somebody in the back seat with her when you drive? Why is you got to schedule around her? You can't leave until noon because of her?
He said you have to schedule around her.
Kyle, you got a lot to learn.
Put her in the seat. If you get fidgety, you just stop with all that fidgeting, girl.
They can't
play with her.
Child Protective Services. Kyle Wallace is yelling at his daughter.
You just play with them. Keep them occupied. Put them.
Bro,
little in their face.
Attention spans of infants or even like toddlers are this big, tiny little attention spans.
Give her the phone, Ben.
And they're confined into a car seat for how long?
Locked
6.5
6 hours. Could you imagine being locked?
They're gonna flail. They're gonna throw tantrums.
You want me to give her? You want me to give her a pep talk? And listen, baby girl, you better tighten up. We got 6.5 hours.
She doesn't understand
so
you.
Kyle, specifically, you start driving. What is your strategy?
For me,
you've been tasked to drive a 14-month-old 6 hours.
I mean,
what are you going to do?
I think he has a great strategy, actually. I think he has a perfect strategy.
I think it's brilliant.
I just didn't like the fact that he said, we couldn't leave till 12. The hell with that. When we get in everybody get in the car. If she want to be fidgety and crying herself, you going to cry yourself to sleep. All right? We going. See,
he said, I can't wait for him to be a parent.
I know. I can't wait for KBN when Kyle is a parent, and we can dive into all the idiosyncrasies.
My child is going to be years younger than yours. Is going to be bullying both of y'all kids. That's what they're going to be.
They're gonna be bullying him.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'm gonna go
little pipsqueak Kyle Wallace is running around.
Hey, Brad. Let's go, Brad. Don't let him talk about our kids like that.
You know that baby girl's father is 6'2", 6'3", so that means little big gonna be no pipsqueak like they daddy. Gonna be have some height.
Cody, you're on the Carbless Talking text line. You seem to have advice.
I had to do about an 8-hour drive with my daughter when she was 14 months old. So my advice would be get something that latches onto your seat and can hold a phone or tablet to maybe watch some TV to give who's ever babying in the back a break, and as many different kinds of snacks as you can so that you never have to stop.
TV, entertain, Teletubbies.
Teletubbies. Go ahead, Brad.
Are you utilizing screen time?
Trying
it's
it's
a tricky.
It's a slippery slope.
It's super slippery.
It's a slippery slope because as soon as you start giving the screen, all they want is a screen.
Just a insatiable screen time. Then at that point, that's why it's hard, Kyle. You want to try to do it.
Kyle's got all the answers.
Yeah,
remember that?
Hey, quiet down.
I don't have kids, but the gentleman just called and they said the exact same thing as me. You give them snacks, you give them TV, you get somebody back there to entertain them. That's a fun time. It's playtime.
I can't wait until Kyle has a kid and they're
not doing everything I'm saying.
Yeah, they're crying and there's no logical reason why they're crying.
You know what I do to kids?
They're not hungry, they're not tired, they're just crying and you can't stop them.
Your kids are young now, but once kids turn 2 or 3 and they start doing that whine and stuff, you know what I do?
Don't say it if it's bad.
They go wham, wham, go wham, wham, wham.
You're going to wham them back?
Yeah, you wham them back and they look at you.
Is that like barking back at your dog?
No, I'm telling you.
Is that your approach?
Try it with kids. I promise you. When your daughter gets to 2.
Just anytime you give advice, just say, I'm not a parent, but this is how I would do it.
You can wham back.
The greatest shaping of a child occurs between 0 and 5. So when their primary caregiver, the father they look up to,
is whang at them,
2-year-old, what kind of scars do you think that's going to do?
A 2-year-old and 3-year-old can talk. And most of the times where they start crying at 2, it's
their
because
brain isn't formed.
No, it's because
sounds like you two would build a lovely relationship.
You
Their
two are
brain's
soft.
not fully formed, Kyle.
A 2 and a 3-year-old know they crying. They're crying for no reason. So once you start making all that noise, they look at you and say, wait.
Have you done this before?
Hell yeah, it works every time. Every time.
When have you done this?
I have a lot of little cousins. I have a little cousin who
It works every time.
How's
your relationship with them?
They love me. Kids love Kyle. And I'm telling y'all this right now.
Kyle loves the kids.
Kyle loves the kids. The kid loves Kyle.
2 to 5. Even if they're older than that, they cry. You can say, okay, you want to play this game? But 2 to 5, I promise you, all they do is when they start crying, if you wham right there
is
with
anyone
them,
more qualified than this goon?
They stop.
Everybody, yes.
Stop crying and they look at you and they say, "Why are you making that noise?" That's what they do, and it works every time, every single time.
I did not have that as today of being the solution. That's
Don't let your kids
KBN Sports Desk right now, live looking to the Brewers Radio Network and 620 WTMJ. No, I did it for you, Strofe. Bases loaded, no outs.
Oh.
Bottom of the 10th, 2-2.
That's okay. That's okay.
So
live looking.
When I heard that crack, I was like, oh,
the crack was so good, and it was your boy Salvatore.
No, we got it. We got it. A pop fly's going to win this game.
Yeah, all it takes is a sack fly here with 1 out, bases
loaded.
loaded.
We ain't worried about it, baby. Look at that. The pitching is back.
But Freddie had a good day.
You win today. You're well on your way. Let's
2
go.
and 4.
Freddie had a really good day.
Yeah.
Man, I wanted that for you so bad, Strofe, because did you have any idea Sal was up with the bases? Oh, of course you did.
Are you
I've
watching?
been listening to it back here. Yeah.
What do you mean you've been listening to? Aren't you supposed to be listening to our show?
Damn, G. Williker.
I've been part of the conversation the entire segment.
You know what? You know what? I'm gonna give Strofe some credit here because he has had some dynamite one-liners here to roast Kyle.
Yeah, because that's what he feels he needs to do. Drop in, drop out. He doesn't have enough.
Terry chimes in. He honestly feels bad for Kyle's future kids.
Oh, come on.
I
Terry,
still think it's fascinating. Like, when my dog barks so much to the point where she just won't shut up, sometimes I go, "Rrr."
And she look at you like you crazy.
Just to throw her off for a second?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do that to
what does
children.
Patricia do?
Yes, you can.
Patricia just continues to bark then because now she thinks I'm a big dog.
Just like the kid's going to think you're a big baby.
The kid's going to learn today. I'm telling y'all that. I'm telling you, it's a genius thing I discovered.
You said I'm telling you about 20 times. We know that you're telling you. We just know that you're wrong.
Have you ran this by baby girl? Your parenting techniques?
Listen, it is what it is. She'll be okay.
Man of the house.
Yeah.
I'll run that mug.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take the piece from the child crying. I'll get yelled at by baby girl versus a child screaming at the top of their lungs for no reason.
800-990-3776. If anyone's more qualified for advice for a 6-hour drive with a 14-month-old kid, I would gladly take those advice from people that know what they're doing instead of Kyle, who's going to cry and whah back at his future kids.
If your daughter cries during a trip and she won't stop crying, just try it.
I will do what I think is best, not thinking about you at all.
Be careful not to scar her, Ben.
Cody says Kyle's going to traumatize his kids. People are worried. Over to the Brewers Radio Network. Got away with one, Strofe?
2-2 against Bowers now.
One out.
Oh, man. No! Turn it off. Turn it off. We're not good luck. We are not good luck. That was all courtesy of the Brewers Radio Network.
This is Ben's fault. This is his idea.
What?
This is all. Kyle might be onto something.
Kyle might be onto something. Oh, Ricardo is going to be fired up. In 2 minutes, we hear from KBN Nation. And Jair and Xavier McKinney working out together? Are the pack back, as Jair would say? Next in 2 minutes.
Hey, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman here with some great news from my friends at Bank 5-9. For a limited time, you can earn as much as 4.8% on one of their CD specials. With 9, 17, and 25-month options, you're sure to find a CD that fits your needs while you earn a great return. It's simply another way Bank 5-9 is making lives better in our communities. Hurry, these high rates won't last long. Check out bank59.com/CD for more details. Member FDIC.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Take me out to the ball game, roll out the barrel, and get up, get out of here, gone. There's nothing like Milwaukee baseball. The Brew Crew is back, and we're here to help you turn your tailgate or game viewing experience into a grand slam. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor, where since 1960 we have provided the best selection and the lowest prices. We stock literally thousands of varieties of beer, liquor, wine, and mixers. Over 15,000 actually, but who's counting? The point is, you want it, odds are we have it. Combine our incredible selection and everyday low prices with our 2 convenient locations, and you've got your one-stop shop for game day. Discount Liquor in Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma, only 10 minutes from AmFam Field, and in downtown Waukesha on Barstow and Main.
Discount liquor.
So many of our youth carry unimaginable burdens. Anger, depression, even thoughts of suicide. At Rawhide Youth Services, we recognize their pain. We help them find hope and healing. For those that need a second chance at life, we refuse to give up on them. Please be a part of our life-saving work. When you donate your used vehicle to Rawhide, you're helping change the lives of countless youth in our communities. Go to rawhide.org/donate and help them realize a brighter future today.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle Bruston Nortman from 2 to 5 every day. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN on ESPN Wisconsin. Here's Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, and Brad Nortman.
I appreciate all the real advice from KBN Nation who are parents, unlike Kyle, who's just saying when the kid cries on the 6-hour drive, just cry back at it. Wham back at the 14-month-old. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad, that's what you said. Brad Nortman. Does it sound worse when it comes out of somebody else's mouth?
It's not. Now people are going to think I hate kids.
Kyle love the kids.
Kids love Kyle.
They do. They do.
Wham! Wham! Wham back at Strofe.
Wah, Strofe, wah. You like that?
Man,
Wah.
Even his wah.
Stroph's is very like a heady, like wah. Yours is very guttural and deep down, Kyle.
Yeah, because you got to go,
like they said, they're going to traumatize the kid.
My little cousin, I did that to her, and she looked at me. And she was
Ricardo in Canada. I got a couple things for you, Ricardo, but first I feel like you want to have a bone to pick with Kyle here, 800-990-3776. Ricardo in Canada, you're up.
Hey, Ricardo.
I appreciate that. Kyle, you're pretty much the guy that says, tell me I don't have a kid without telling me I don't have a kid. Because, yeah, that was not going to work. You will not do it to your kids for two reasons. One, when it's somebody else's kid, it's always easier because if it doesn't work out, you give them back. And two, your girl will throw something at you if you ever did that to their child. I guarantee you that.
Powerful.
Now, in turn, Ben, I travel to Europe on an 8-hour flight every summer with my little one. I don't care what people tell you. Baby Tylenol. It will knock them out for 3 hours easy.
He's drugging kids. Yo, mad at me? That's who you gonna take advice from? You just hear that? He said drugger. He said give her the baby Tylenol. I don't know what type of rules I got in Canada, but we don't do that here in America. We ain't drugging our
just
babies.
double that dose. Just double that dose.
Go ahead and knock her out.
Man, Ricardo, you were killing it until that.
Wow.
Is he still on the line? Because I do want to ask him about the Green Bay Packers. Because, Ricardo, you are a Packer backer till the death. And I know you love you some Wilde and Tausch as well as some Kyle Brust-Nortman. But Old T and Wilde and Tausch got after us a little bit because we're holding Goody to the standard that he set out to have the urgency to win championships. Are you satisfied with this offseason?
So far, yeah, I am. And I'll tell you why. Because he's building a team that's built to win. He's just not doing it the way that we expect him to do it. And it doesn't mean that it's wrong. It's just what he thinks and what I believe is right. If we had a strong offensive line against the Eagles in the wild card, we probably could have won that game. We lost our left guard. That's probably not going to happen. We have depth now. And with the influx of talent coming from the draft, I'm pretty sure he's going to keep building it. Yeah, do we need a number one wide receiver? Yeah. But Kansas City's won the Super Bowl for how many years in a row without a number one wide receiver?
They also have Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. They've done it multiple times, so they have proof of concept. We're trying to get back to a Super Bowl for the first time in 15 years.
Yeah, but you know what? But it doesn't happen overnight. Don't forget, the Philadelphia didn't win off of their offense. They won the Super Bowl off of their defensive line, and that I agree is a huge liability. But there really wasn't anybody like for the money that people were making. Who do you think would have really made a difference on our defensive line compared to everybody else? Like I'm not gonna lie, everyone's talking about Josh Sweat. He's an okay player, but we already have players with that potential for far cheaper. We got to sign our own guys, and I'd rather just draft guys with higher upside. I guarantee he's going to go to Arizona and not do that well. It's a collective. You got to understand. I truly believe that Philadelphia. We use Philadelphia as an example. Jalen Carter, they had a really bad year. They were top 10. They picked Jalen Carter, fall into our lap. And he transformed that defense. He was unblockable, and he made everyone else around him. We don't have that player.
How long are you going to have there be a Super Bowl drought before you get impatient? Are you impatient yet?
Of course, I'm impatient. I'll be impatient to the point when we become a team like Cleveland or listen to me, Cleveland or like a Dallas or like a Seattle where we're always in the mix, but we never actually.
That's fair, Ricardo. I just want to keep the conversation moving. I love you on both points, but again, that is fine. I'm accepting that answer as like reasonable because he has the expectations, but he also said, I'm okay with it until we turn into X, Y, or Z, which nobody wants to be the Cowboys. Nobody wants to be the Browns. So he's saying until we fall to those places, I'm satisfied with the way that they're building teams.
Yeah.
What's wrong, Kyle? Can't stop thinking about Tylenol?
Strofe offered me $1 to try to slip baby Tylenol into what I was going to say, and I tried to think of it like, damn, I want that $1.
Why did you say something like, this drought is as painful as slipping into a 15-year, coma due to baby Tylenol?
Oh,
something like that.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you reached there, Brad.
Kyle, I think you
For
now owe me $1 for ratting me out like that.
Yeah. Why you do that?
I was trying to think so hard about how I could do that.
That is quite a peek behind the curtain.
There's such
a things entertaining for myself.
There's such a funny dynamic because Ben and Strofe can talk to one another, and then Kyle, me, and Strofe can talk to one another. So there's just always these really weird
silos.
You
We're
heard
like
him
the
say
Green
that.
Bay Packers.
It is
We're
silo
siloed.
system. We're siloed.
We are very siloed, but I'm not gonna lie to you. Strofe distracted me because money is mine.
Language.
Oh my gosh.
Tonight.
It is.
Both.
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I love me some money.
$1.
Hey, Kyle,
He lost his mind, Strofe, because you offered him $1 to slip baby Tylenol into a sentence.
Kyle, can you power rank money, baby girl, and the kids? Which one you love most, the least?
Oh, wow.
The least?
Wait. So number one, you like the least?
No. So start with the one you like the least, and then the one you like the middle, and then the one you love the most.
Okay.
Because you love the kids, you love money, and you love baby girl.
All right. Let me be smart today because I want to have a very happy house.
Ooh,
But
let's add the Green Bay Packers in there too.
Okay, Green Bay
so
Packers
good.
number 4.
Oh, wow. Fraud Packer fan.
Kids number 3. Money number 2, and baby girl's always number 1.
You love
Money over kids? Clearly. I mean, this makes sense.
I love my girl, but I ain't spending $3 on her.
I
can have kids right now if I wanted kids. Like, let's be honest. Like, in my player days, I could have had some kids. I mean, I could have just had some babies. But kids are expensive. Child support is expensive. Listen, baby Tylenol ain't cheap. It ain't. And so I'm just saying. I'm just saying, kids are expensive, and I mean.
So are you going to not love your kids as much because they suck away with so much of that money you love?
No, but I have been told that, Kyle, you cannot complain to the kids about how much they're going to cost you. I've been told.
Did your father do that to you?
No. Papa Wallace didn't. He didn't say, "Damn, y'all kids expensive very often."
It sounds like that was verbatim of what he said.
No, y'all want to hear a funny story? A really funny story?
Yes,
absolutely.
So this is where I get it from. So one time, my dad is at a famous Wisconsin restaurant here on Capitol in Milwaukee, Fond du Lac and Capitol, and he's ordering food, and my auntie is in the same place. This is my mom's sister, her brother-in-law, and he's in front of the line, she's in the back, so he does not see her. And so my auntie just hears a voice, and the voice is my dad's voice saying, can I get a kids meal on that? Grown ass man asking for a kids meal. And my auntie was like, that must be him. Like, that must be Kyle's dad. And it was him ordering the kids meal.
Can I be
like 50?
Okay. We never went as far to actually ordering it.
Man,
but
Kyle, Bruston, Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. Brad and Kyle trading cheap stories.
Before our current household with our boys right now for foster care, we had some older girls. They were like 8 and 5, and one time we
starved them.
Well, not starved.
They ain't good over there.
Yeah, we went to a restaurant that was in Delafield. And we get takeout, and like Lexi and I got like the adult menu, and the kids got kids menu. And the kids' menu portion sizes were massive.
Oh,
I mean, massive. And wouldn't you know if I looked at Lexi and said, we should order out from here and just get kids menu. It was like $9 versus my $29 thing.
I would have did it.
And it would have been plenty of food. I haven't done it yet, but that's always in the back of my mind a little bit. I could get a $9 great dinner if I just order off the kids' meal.
You know what? There's also a Mexican restaurant as well where you can get a kids bowl.
And the kids' bowl is pretty filling?
Kids' bowl is half the price, and it's filling. Sure is, half the price.
Unbelievable.
And I went to one close to a college, and I guess all the college kids do, and they tried to upcharge. I said, I don't even want it. I don't want it.
I see. Because I was thinking I could just pull up to the restaurant, get a couple of kids' meals and be, sir, where's your kids? And just be like, they're in the car. Just getting my kid in the car. No problems. They wouldn't know.
They shouldn't question you. I like that in you, Brad.
Yeah, it's smart.
Like
I'll tell you off air where it is. You can order from it if you ever find yourself, the western area of Milwaukee.
Speaking of, I just want everybody to know, because I love KBN Nation. I love you, Brad, and you, Ben, as well. There is National Burrito Day is tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
And there are BOGOs all across this great city and state.
My God.
I'm listening.
Listen, they have National Burrito, buy one, get one burrito at all the restaurants. You think of it, You think of it.
All the chain
all the
restaurants
chains got buy one, get one tomorrow. I have been waiting a week for this. I have been waiting
Do you
a
have
whole
every
week for this.
BOGO in the state of Wisconsin on a food calendar in your work?
I love Teacher Appreciation Week. Oh my gosh.
You're not a teacher.
The hell I am. I got my.
No, you don't.
I still got my. I hope I have it in my wallet. I changed up my wallet. I may still have my. Let me see if I still got my. So I still got my Central Michigan ID in here just in case I want to get the.
You're scamming restaurants?
The wings at Brothers. The college ID.
Wait, when does it expire?
It doesn't matter. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. What this say? What this say? What that say?
It says Kyle Wallace, Marquette University.
Teacher Appreciation. Here he is. Here's ID.
Get out of here.
Here's ID. There it is. I win my free.
And what kind of discounts you get with that?
You get on Teacher Appreciation. We can get free food.
But you're not a teacher.
Here it is. What does that say?
I guess I'm not a kid
What
either,
does that say?
It says an employee of Marquette University.
Oh, okay then. What you mean? What you mean? I'm not a teacher. How you gonna say my ID ain't valid? Who that look like? Who that look like?
I'm done with you guys.
Kyle, I actually respect the hell out of that.
Yeah,
I
look,
respect the
who
hell
is this?
out of that.
Who is that?
Central Michigan
Who
University.
is that? What you mean I'm not a student? What are you talking? I'm a graduate student. What are you talking about?
Wait, you get student meals and teacher meals?
I'm telling you, I'm being dead serious. Brothers on Water Street, they used to have like 10-cent wings. It was 25 cent or 75 cent if you're just a regular person. But students,
regular person.
Yeah.
But for students, what did I do? I slipped my ID. Come on, I'm a student.
Kyle, you're in your mid-30s.
It don't matter.
People are in their mid-30s in grad school.
I'm an adult learner. What you mean?
Lifelong learner.
I'm ready for everything. I get all the deals, baby.
How many cards do you have?
Enough to
A
get by.
plethora. Yeah. He's got a whole notebook.
I was in college more recently than him, and I don't have my ID.
I got it on me just in case, Joe. If you can't, them college discounts work out.
I respect the grind. That is grinding.
Speaking of good discounts, that's 0% financing with Gina Della for Pella.
Oh, that is
You
great.
guys probably could have done another 2 hours and 45 minutes of the rest of the show talking about free meals.
Oh, it's insatiable. That's why I love going to our great partners, one of which is Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. That's right. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin is your go-to place for windows, doors to transform your home from the inside out. Not only that, the deals that they have with low interest, to be able to pay it off over time. They're going to work with you and your budget to make sure that your dream project comes to life. So if you're finally making it ready to take that step to increase your home value, decrease your energy cost, and just have your home be a transformed living space, then you got to go with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit PellaWI.com for more information.
855-PELLA-WI, PellaWI.com. Check it out. Diana from Aguanago, Kyle's #1 fan. How do you feel about him ripping off restaurants as a fake student and fake teacher?
Hey, Dirty D.
If you can get the deals, if you can get all the deals, why not? I look for all the deals too. I don't have any college IDs like he has, but if you go somewhere and they got some deals, heck yeah, I'm picking up the deals myself.
Yeah, thank you, Dirty D. I impacted enough kids. Well, I deserve this. I deserve a lifetime of teacher appreciation for all the kids I impacted around this great city of Milwaukee.
You taught walking exercise classes.
Yeah.
I also
Relaxation.
I was a substitute teacher. I was a high school football coach, and I recruited students to go to Marquette University. There are kids who are changing lives because of me.
How many kids you keep in touch with?
Oh, I got kids who call me coach all the time.
Kyle, look.
No, real talk. Matt Easel, who you can hear on Marquette College Game Day.
Yeah.
He went to Marquette, and guess what? There were some kids who I brought in from Philadelphia who are
Born
working
and
in Marquette. You said what now?
West
Born and
Philadelphia?
I don't know.
West Philadelphia, born and
I was
raised?
joking.
No,
you know what?
they're not West
You're on a
Philadelphia.
timeout.
Yeah, you're on a
timeout.
roll. I respect that, Kyle.
Thank you.
I respect the grind.
Begrudgingly, I turn to the other cheapo of the show, Brad Nortman, for Hear Brad Out next. It's probably going to be how to get free meals the rest of your life.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN.
You should be happy Pac-Man Jones has had this on his headphones, or he definitely would have pulled up on you.
I think Pac-Man's lucky I didn't have this on my headphones.
Oh, you right.
I would have been.
Right.
I'm really feeling swaggy and confident.
You say, yeah, you're in my space. What you gonna do?
Because even just hearing the song, like, for those who on the YouTube, they can see I'm bobbing my head right now. Like, this is like, okay.
Go ahead, say ski.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Well, we start off with a problem northbound on 94, north of Howard Avenue. We've got the right shoulder blocked with a crash. Pretty much a big old mess through there. So give yourself tons of time to get through that. We've also got an accident or disabled vehicle on southbound 43 right about at North Avenue. It's off on the left shoulder. That's tightening things up as well. Other than that, we've got delays northbound on 43 coming up from Fond du Lac Avenue to Keefe. Southbound slowing from North Avenue down through the Marquette. Westbound 94 backed up from about 16th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, breezy with a low of 42. Tomorrow, partly cloudy and breezy, a high of 53. Weather is brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazagon, 94.5 ESPN.
You remember the moments from that magical March.
Side Decker. It's a three. Got it!
On June 26th, celebrate the squad with Made 'em Believe. A special night with Bo Ryan, Frank Kaminsky, and Sam Decker.
Here's Kaminsky. The drop stab. That's his favorite. And the two.
Presented by Bud Light, Michelob Ultra, Potosi Varsity Ale, and Potosi Hard Seltzer. Tickets are on sale now at uwhoops2015.com. Made 'em Believe. June 26th at the Orpheum Theater in Madison.
Hey, Gina, did you hear about the draft?
Wayne, there's no draft at Pella.
There's definitely a draft. Right, Wildy? Yeah, everybody's talking about it.
Pella windows are constructed of the highest quality. No drafts. But Pella should be everyone's number one pick because right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get no interest financing options or free glass upgrades.
So where is the draft?
Coon. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply in 4/30/2025.
There's a winning magic powering up at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. This April, prepare for an exciting quest to $300,000 in the Enchanted Spins Slot Tournament. Just conjure your rewards card and play slots to earn drawing entries. Each Thursday, 60 winners will compete for thousands in cash and prizes. Let your journey begin with Enchanted Spins, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Let's talk about Home Turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
Look what I found.
What is it?
It's a list of the traditional and modern anniversary gifts for each year of marriage.
Sarah and I use a different list. But go ahead and tell us about yours.
The traditional gift for your first anniversary is paper, but the modern gift is a clock.
Well, our list says the first anniversary is always diamond jewelry.
What's your list called?
The People's Choice.
The traditional gift for your 6th anniversary is iron, but the modern gift is wood.
What a coincidence. For the 6th anniversary, our list says diamonds again. What do you have for the 10th anniversary, Rick?
Traditional is aluminum, modern is diamond jewelry.
Well, there you go. Our lists agree. What have you got for the 7th anniversary?
Copper and a desk set.
Nope. Diamonds again.
I'm beginning to see the wisdom of the People's Choice list.
It's good to have you on board.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Did you make up that People's Choice list, or is it real?
Well, we're people, aren't we?
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
It's a Weed Man Wednesday on Kyle Brust and Northman on ESPN Wisconsin. Weed Man for the win.
Now here it's been so long. Bryce Terang lays down the squeeze bunt at the end in the bottom of the 11th for the Milwaukee Brewers. And they are victorious for 2 in a row, win the rubber match against the Kansas City Royals.
Won the series, baby.
Did win the series. Like I said,
1-1 in series.
Brad, you asked Tuesday after opening day?
Yeah.
Make me feel better?
Yes.
I said, don't panic.
2 wins makes me feel better.
That being said, I'd like to update on Freddie Peralta. 8 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned.
That's good. That's real good. How many strikeouts? How many Ks? He probably
Freddie had 8 Ks.
Yeah.
8 Ks. A much-needed pitching performance from the Milwaukee Brewers.
No
and
panic.
just like that, they're 2 games below 500. And if this was halfway through the season, no one would be panicking. Right back to where they need to be. Ben Bruss, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman here with you. 800-990-3776 is the Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more time now. You always have to get the Talk and Text line out like 3 times because Brad usually says something ridiculous. 800-990-3776. I want your reaction to hear Brad out.
They say punters are people too.
Punters are worthy of breaking news.
No, really, that's what they say.
Raising awareness everywhere that punters are people too.
Okay, let's go to it. Time to hear from the punter. Time to hear Brad out.
All right, guys.
That was pretty good, man. You know what? I had a take a couple weeks ago on the NCAA tournament that was not received very well, but I got a new take that I think you all are going to agree with me on. It was that they should get rid of the Sweet 16 and Elite 8 monikers because those aren't really much to celebrate. But you know what is a lot to celebrate? That is the Final Four. The Final Four is going to be Saturday night. National Championship is going to be on Monday. And you know what my take is, guys?
No, I don't.
There's only number 1 seeds here in this Final Four.
First time since 2008.
And only been 2 times since the tournament expanded in 1985. If it's not for a Wisconsin team, Wisconsin, Marquette, even Green Bay and Milwaukee, darn it, I am rooting for number 1 seeds. I hate the Cinderella story. I don't want a Cinderella story in the Final Four. When I look at this year's Final Four, I love seeing all 1 seeds. Only 2 times has there been number 1 seeds, all number 1 seeds in the Final Four, and only 4 times has it only been 1 and 2 seeds. Now you look at the times when, teams that are higher seeds make it. Guys, I have no interest in watching those games. Do you guys remember the Final Four in 2023? Remember that one?
Was it FAU?
It was FAU 9 seed. Miami,
San Diego State
5 seed. UConn a 4 and Miami a 5. Now, what do you think the ratings were on that Final Four?
Lowest they'd ever been.
They stunk. They were the lowest they've ever been. Way below the year before, which was Kansas, UNC, Duke, and Villanova. For me, for my money, I am interested not in a Cinderella story. You okay to go to the Sweet 16? I'm okay with that. But Elite 8, Final Four, this is supposed to be the crescendo of the college basketball season. So if that means rooting for Duke, rooting for Florida, and Houston and Auburn to get there, even though they're sort of the big bad boys of the college basketball season, I'm okay with that. I want Cinderella stories only in the early rounds, but the Final Four, I want no Cinderella stories. Ratings agree with me. I think you guys will agree with me too. That when you get to this point, I want only marquee matchups. I want only star power. I want only dominant teams. The years where there's a Cinderella story, a 9, a 10, a 12 seed, not interested at all. Love the number 1 seeds. I want this every single year, as long as it's a Wisconsin team that doesn't break it.
I mean, unfortunately, I completely agree with Brad.
Oh, man.
I mean, I love the upsets in the early rounds, but I want to see the best play at the end.
Did you call me Greg?
No.
Sure?
Positive, unless I said it out loud.
You did say it out loud.
Brad?
Something like that.
Yeah. Go look it up, Strofe. I didn't.
You said I agree with Brad.
I'm honored.
Yeah, you did almost say Greg. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm losing my mind. Cinderellas are fun until they're not. Rob chimes in. HBO, thumbs down. Hear Brad out, thumbs down. Cinderellas are fun. They're fun until the end. The better team usually does win. How many Cinderellas have won the whole thing?
Not very
many. And even the Cinderellas that did, like if you consider
marquee program in 2014, UConn won when we lost in the Final Four.
Yeah, they were a 7. I mean, I'm scrolling back and I'm only seeing 1, 2s, and 3 seeds. But that's great because you look at it and you say, okay, the best teams usually end up winning. But I want an enjoyable ride there.
I'm mad. This year, Brad out stunk because it's too reasonable. Yeah. You've been going off the wall, and I love those.
Okay, well, there's plenty of those in the hopper, so tune into always the 315. So you have some reasonable ones in there too.
No,
so
no,
do you
no.
not
You
want
don't
like reasonable?
No reasonable.
So you don't want a 5 seed or lower ever making it to
Never.
the Final Four?
Never, unless it's Wisconsin.
I disagree. I think getting
I'll go
one.
as far as saying I want only 1s and 2 seeds.
Cinderella
Period.
story. Remember when
that's only happened 10% of the time. 10% of the tournament, it's only 1s and 2 seeds.
Loyola Chicago, there's just such a great storyline. Like
Not
you just
interesting.
watch, you say, what do you mean? So you're not interested in an old lady?
No, I'm not. I want the best.
He's an
possible-
ageist.
You
I
don't
want
like-
the best possible basketball for the final 3 games of the college basketball season.
Yeah.
I don't want Loyola Chicago. I want, if it's not a Wisconsin team, give me UNC and Kansas and Duke and all the teams that are like the studs.
So you're a front runner. You just want the blue bloods.
Yeah. I
Or
do.
Wisconsin.
I do. And it's the same way I would say with the NFL. I want, like, if it's not the Packers or the Panthers or the Jags, give me the best
Panthers
teams.
or the Jags.
Yeah,
Ooh.
they cut me checks.
What
I
a
do root for them.
trash Super Bowl those were.
Brad is an entitled jerk per Lasagna in Milwaukee. Just wants to watch 1 seeds. If you're the little guy, Brad hates you. Well, Mr. Brust and Mr. Nortman
What
kick
a
rocks.
surprise.
Tell me, Kyle, you can't tell me that it's better games and you're more interested when it's like a 5 seed and a 9 seed.
The Cinderella story is the reason why they call it a Cinderella story, because it's absolutely beautiful. It's beautiful for them to try to put the slipper on. Even though they never put the slipper on, it's cool to watch them attempt. Like, even when Butler almost upset Duke in Final Four that
That's
one
not even really that big of an upset.
Cinderella story.
Weren't they like a 4 or 5 seed, or were they higher than that?
I mean, they went to the national championship game in back-to-back years.
Well, they
were recruiting me at that time. At no point did I ever consider them as an underdog.
Well, it's still a good story from a small.
It is because they were in the Horizon League at the time. They're
They
now
were
in the
number
Big
5
East.
in 2010. They were number 8 in 2011.
Yeah, I appreciate the storyline, and I think the storyline is definitely cool. Again, I don't need them to win a national championship, but getting there, like the journey to get to the Final Four, is always something that shocks everybody, and it always makes people smile. Like NC
Shocked
State
me.
last year. Yeah, it did. Yeah, NC State last year, when they made the run, everybody was like, "Oh wow, that's like it's cool to see the run." I mean, it's gonna.
Okay, now you're trying to be like
no, it's
too
true.
tough.
Because like Kyle wants this like Cinderella. I want Clash of Titans.
Remember the big dog?
That's
Dude,
what
I don't
want.
even know his
DJ
name.
Burns.
Man, DJ Burns was hooping. He like 6'8", 300 pounds, balling.
Big dog.
Big dog DJ Burns or DJ Big Dog Burns.
So you were more
Went
interested
around-
in the NC State game last year in the Final Four than you were against like the, I guess it was what, UConn, Alabama? Maybe that was like a 1 versus a 4 seed. You liked the 1 versus 11 seed more.
You're curious to see what happens. You're curious. I take that.
Kyle doesn't even watch these games. Is the funny part.
No, I usually. It depends on how much I'm invested in Wisconsin. So I did not watch the games after. I didn't watch Thursday night's game. It was just too much. I was still hurting about Wisconsin. Nobody wants to see BYU
Have we
play.
decided who we're rooting for the Final Four of these teams?
No.
I like. I'm a big fan of Bruce
Houston.
Pearl, but I also like Calvin Sampson. So.
I want to see Houston just bring the heat to Duke and put them on their heels because they are not good on their heels. They're really talented. I just want to see them squirm a little bit.
You like Duke, I thought.
Conca-Nipple, your boy.
Yeah, you said you liked him.
Again,
might say.
very
Bad
good
dude.
team, very talented team. But there's something about the way Houston plays where they got some dogs.
Yeah, no, I like Calvin Sampson and I like Bruce Pearl.
And we like giving away great opportunities, especially around the NFL draft.
Yeah, no doubt about that, Benny. Transport yourself to the 06010 because Fantasy Focus Football Podcast is coming to Green Bay. That is the night before the draft. Wednesday, April 23rd. Phil Yates, Daniel Dopp, Stefania Bell, Liz Loza, Mike Clay, and crew are doing a live show at the Tundra Trio just outside of historic Lambeau Field. ESPN Wisconsin wants to send you and a friend up to Green Bay to see the show happen live. Right now, caller 7 will win 2 tickets to ESPN's Fantasy Focus Podcast live at the Tundra Trio. See the show up close, meet all the hosts, and get complimentary food and drinks and Fantasy Focus Football Podcast merch. Caller 7 right now to 800-990-3776, 800-990-ESPN. Visit ESPNWisconsinContest.com for full details.
I will admit when I'm wrong, and I think I'm wrong about the way that I felt about Jair Alexander.
Oh, wow.
Is the pack back? Next.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman.
I put my card in, I pump. When it clicks, I pull it out, I put it away, and I move on to my own.
That's what she said. Thanks so much, Olte.
She pumped and moves on with her life.
Take it out, put it in, moves on.
That's what she said.
Come on, Kyle. Keep up. That's Packers Hall of Famer. That was one of my better ones, and he's confused.
Well,
he's still fixated on Lola Bunny.
No,
from
I don't
earlier.
think she says that.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
We've got some backups right now along northbound 4394. Couple of accidents happen right around the Holt Howard Avenue area. We've got it off on the right shoulder, and then we've got another one a little bit further on the left shoulder. Both of these causing some problems, so careful with that. On southbound 43, we've got a crash on the left shoulder right about at North Avenue, so that's going to be affecting your ride as well. Giving yourself extra time would be wise there. Slowing continues all the way through the Marquette, though. Northbound's going to be slow from Fond du Lac Avenue up to Keith. Westbound 94, you're looking at delays from about 20th Street all the way through to Hawley Road. And as the game lets out of AmFam Field, you are going to start to see some more delays on both directions of 94. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, partly cloudy skies, breezy with the low of 42. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, breezy, a high of 53. Weather is brought to you by Tsunami Express Car Wash. Visit any of their 6 locations in the Milwaukee market today. Try your first wash free when you sign up online at tsunamiexpress.com. Wash, chill, repeat. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazagon, 94.5 ESPN.
You love her twice as much today as the day you married her, right?
Welcome to Kessler's.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Evan Cohen, Chris Canty, and Michelle Smallman.
Parsons is going to be the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL. And a year ago, that would have been around $35.5 million. Now, it's going to be north of $40 million in lieu of the Myles Garrett deal. So and Jamar Chase. So that's what Jerry Jones is looking at. The only question is, when is he going to give Micah Parsons all of this money? And knowing how deliberate Jerry has been with his contract negotiations, I wouldn't hold my breath on that deal.
I'm not holding my breath either, but I really can't understand this tactic from a business or negotiation standpoint. Jerry Jones is once again doing this, let's wait and see how this plays out. Let's wait until the last final second to get this.
A day late and $1 more.
You said it, CC, and boy, is he sticking to it. But he's doing it yet again with another star, this time with Micah Parsons, just like he did it with CeeDee Lamb and just like he did it with Dak Prescott.
Who's cutting down the nets this year? Get in on all the tournament action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest upsets to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on the Packers. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Your first time driving a stick shift. The car, sporty. Your teacher, nervous. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Online Activation Zone, so you can easily shift your direct deposits from your old clunker of a bank to Associated Bank in just a few clicks. You've got this with Activation Zone from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel neglected or unloved? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Football fans, Verizon is giving you the chance to win the ultimate draft experience with the Road to the Draft sweepstakes. 10 lucky winners will win tickets to the first day of the 2025 NFL Draft in Green Bay, including round-trip service from Milwaukee, hotel accommodations, plus access to the Verizon viewing zone where you're going to be taken care of like a first-round pick. Don't miss your chance to win the ultimate draft experience powered by Verizon. Hurry to select the Verizon locations and enter by April 13th. No purchase necessary to enter. Must be legal U.S. resident of Wisconsin or Illinois, age 21 years or older. Void where prohibited. ESPNWisconsinContest.com for official rules. Ben Bruss, Kyle Wallace, Brad Norman with you, KBN Nation. 800-990-3776 is the Carbless Talk and Text line. Liss is more. Alex Strofe running the show. See us on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. Now, it was very interesting to see how this all played out because of the money that the Packers could have saved by potentially cutting Jair Alexander, I think by June 1st, I believe. And then there was conversation around, well, what can we get for him? I don't know. Xavier McKinney, the all-pro safety on Instagram, said, great work, Ja Money. Posted a video of them working out together. And maybe I'm prisoner of the moment, but the idea of seeing Jair Alexander with Xavier McKinney gave me life, especially after all that they did was sign Nate Hobbs in the offseason.
I mean, McKinney is a smart guy. He's a smart player. He says the right things. I mean, when the Packers were reeling a little bit throughout the season, he was the one that was the vocal point for the defense. So McKinney's smart. He knows what this is going to mean posting this, and he went ahead and posted it anyway. Jair looks happy. He looks locked in. He looks engaged. So if I'm going to get that kind of Jair, as opposed to saving $6 million or even trading him, what are you going to get for trading him? A sixth-round draft pick, fifth? That's not going to do much. But if the Packers have McKinney and Evan Williams, maybe Bullard at the safety positions, now you got Nate Hobbs, you got Jair Alexander, Nixon, and Valentine. Boy, that's a formidable secondary. That goes from being like a position group where you're like,
we're drafting and hoping to develop somebody with these guys to like, hey, like we're competitive.
Dude, we only have then two position groups that we need to fill up before making a big Super Bowl run, being wide receiver and DN.
The only thing I want to throw out there as a hold on. Last time we did this, it was Josh Jacobs at the Super Bowl about Devontae Adams. Jordan Love talking about wanting a wide receiver one.
Oh, it's different, though. It's different.
Okay, tell me how it's different, because he's still on the roster?
This guy is still on the roster. You have the general manager himself talking about, Jair's a good player. Like, obviously, they want to figure out what they're going to do with him, and he did not rule out that Jair would not be on the roster. That's one thing that we did not hear, right? We didn't know about free agents or whether or not he was going to look into Devontae Adams. We didn't know if they were going to try to make a call about Myles Garrett or Trey Hendrickson. What we do know is he's commented on Jair Alexander multiple times, and clearly there's some, there's some friction between those two, but he left the door open for Jair Alexander to potentially come back. And as Brad just said, this defensive backing core is a lot better with Jair versus without Jair. And we complained about the defensive line. You know what helps defensive linemen get home to the quarterback?
Time to do so.
Time to do so and cover sacks. So understanding that we just need to accept what the reality is. Jair Alexander is not going to give you a full 17-game season. He's just not going to do it. So we shouldn't expect that. So what you can do is to say, hey, if we can get Jair healthy for 10 games this season and then he can make an impact in the playoffs, then you are feeling really, really good about where the Green Bay Packers are. I would take that in a heartbeat, because what we can then do is this. The Green Bay Packers can draft a rookie cornerback, and they can bring him along. If you draft a rookie cornerback in the first round or maybe in the second round, and say Jair has an issue again where this year, the last couple games of the season, he's not able to play, well, hopefully after the first 10, 11 games, that rookie cornerback that you draft early may be able to step in. Or even better, after this season, when you're probably going to for sure move on from Jair, you guess what? You have the heir apparent right there waiting to take over. The Green Bay Packers.
Even if it's not the heir apparent, it's depth.
But no, listen, heir apparent. Draft somebody in the first and second round to replace Jair.
Slow down. Just because they're getting Jair doesn't mean first and second round should be a cornerback. It's got to fall to you the right way. Plus, we know the needs at wide receiver and defensive end.
But we also know they're not drafting a wide receiver in the first round unless something shakes out.
Not according to Bradley Nortman.
They're going to. This is the meeting of the year. This is the meeting of the year they do it.
So I guess the question is, like, are you okay if Jair Alexander only plays 10 games next year?
Why would you not be? Who cares? Like, if you set the expectation, you know how we have the expectation set high for the Green Bay Packers to win games? My expectation of Jair, if he plays 10 games, great. Christian Watson, nobody thought Christian was going to have a full season last year. Nobody thought that. Why? Because we set the bar and expectations lower. It is what it is. We're paying a guy a lot of money that we wish he would play a full season. We wish he would be healthy, but the reality is that's not what you're going to get. We are better off having a corner who even last year when he was healthy was still one of the best corners in the NFL as a pass coverage guy. That helps this football team do what? Win games. I'm not in it to care about, he's not playing, he's not on the field. Bumps that. When he plays, we win. I want to win games, and he helps us win games.
And Love and Football chimes in, last 10 games or random 10 games? I mean, obviously, if we could pick, it would be the last 10 games, but it's hard to prognosticate potential injuries, and he may not get injured, but the history, prognosticate, yep, I did that. Big Rob says he's not leaving because Goody wants more than what he's going to get, so he won't move on. Just hope that he can rework that contract. That would be a big thing if they could restructure him, but I don't know if Goody's willing to restructure him and commit to him potentially longer.
Who cares at this point? Like, whatever, man.
It's another reflective of this team going all in, keeping a guy that was at least at some point all-pro, and when he's healthy and mentally locked in, he's still under 30, and he still plays at a very high level. So if you look at this, you always have to consider, well, what's the alternative? Okay, if you don't have Jair Alexander, what's the alternative?
Keyshawn Nixon.
That's a little bit scary. Keyshawn Nixon, and you roll the dice on some rookie that could be good, but he could get cooked. He could be a liability. If you're telling me that I can get Jair Alexander for 10 games, I'm going to take that and roll the dice because this is not, again, if it goes back to a little bit of a sense of urgency, a little bit of putting together a capable contending roster, I believe Jair Alexander can be a part of that. Now, do I love the fact that you're going to pay him $20-some million for 10 games? No, I don't love that. But again, the alternative, not very good in a passing-centric league. And we know we can't trust the D-line to get pressure, so your secondary better be locked in.
There's a little groupthink going on there. I'm not going to disagree.
You disagree with us, Stroh?
Not the lie.
I'm going to try and play the other side because I just called you guys out for groupthink. We're going to skip Alex Stroh and go to Sean and Beaver Dam. Sean and Beaver Dam, 800-990-3776. You win on Jair?
Yes. Hey, gentlemen. Kyle, I hope you get back on a winning streak. I'm rooting for you.
Thank you, sir. I just need to win.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Definitely.
0-7 against the spread is less 7 bets, just for context there.
I know. I listen. But anyways, I also hope you guys talk about the new salary cap in the NCAA, and that $20 million thing and who can really contend with that and who can't. But anyway, Jair, I've called him Jair Bakhtiari before. I guess if McKinney's going to be massaging him after every game and trying to keep him on the field for 10 games, I guess then we can't get anything for him. We really don't have much of a choice. I love him when he's playing. Obviously, we all do.
I love him when he's playing, but
but as Kyle, I think he trolled me one day when I said the best of ability is availability. The next day, he I swear to God, I'm like, he just trolled me. I think, but he's just not available, and it's. But I agree with your points, all of you, when you said, you know what. If we got him for 10 games and we can't get anything else for him, we've got to do the best, and McKinney hopefully is a good masseuse and can keep him on the field as long as possible.
All right, Sean, easy on this masseuse stuff going on there.
I'm not going to disagree.
I like the group thing. Welcome to the club, Sean.
At a minimum, Kyle, again, not to reiterate this group think, but they would be doing what they're not doing for the wide receivers, right? Mm-hmm. If you've got Jair there, if you've got some veterans there, at least there's a phase out and a phase in. Goody has this mindset, we're just going to throw guys in there and let them rip. Well, the Ted Thompson days didn't do that. Even the Ron Wolf days didn't do that. You got some veterans, you got some young guys, there's learning, there's a phase in and a phase out, and that's a very healthy way to build a consistent team.
And I love the fact that just simply this, is that Xavier McKinney is obviously a positive influence on him.
He's a captain for a reason.
They clearly like each other, right? Like, you don't just hang out with people. And Brad, you know this. Like, guys just...
If he was done with Jair, to quote Kyle, bumps him.
Yeah, and if Jair was done with the Green Bay Packers, he wouldn't be working out with him. But he's like, you know what? I like this guy. And obviously, he may be upset, maybe friction, but his boy's still on the team. These guys have literally been teammates for barely over a year. barely over a year, and they're working out together.
That's a good point.
They're building a bond. So that bonds can help keep people together and keep him from going off the ledge during the season. If he gets mad about something, it's like, bro, I got you. And that helps the Green Bay Packers.
And speaking of staying healthy, there's a wonderful way you can do so, and that's at the Princeton Club in the Madison area or New Berlin. You can have that strong body that you want to achieve while having a strong mind, while helping create strong communities like the Princeton Club is able to do. You can have a great day working out, getting those endorphins flowing, having that awesome mindset throughout the week, and you can be just going over there, checking in, and then it's creating meals for local pantries. There's always something going on at all the different Princeton clubs where you can feel a part of the community. So whatever the goal is, it could be small, it could be large, that is the place for you. With free childcare with the membership, they're open 24/7. Weights, cardio, workout classes, spin classes, functional training, personal training, you name it, they have it. Basketball, tennis, swimming. Check out your local Princeton Club. Join for a better tomorrow. We wrap up the ESPN Wisconsin Hour before the 414 Hour at 4. It's Kyle Bruston-Nortman. Next.
This is Kyle Bruston-Nortman.
Oh, wow. North? Spread Eagle is way north. Way north.
Stop. You're doing the thing where you don't know what you're doing.
No, it is, though.
We don't know where up north is.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. What happens when you mix a 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year with a Packers Hall of Famer?
I always loved the line, I'm not here to prove them wrong. I'm here to prove us right.
But that's from a not-petty person. A petty person would never say that.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Is that why Tom Petty was playing when you came back on?
Yeah, that's Matchbox 20.
Kurt Petty.
Catch him from 9 to noon right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Introducing the newest carbless flavor, Mango Vodka. Flavored with the essence of the ripest, freshest mangoes, Carbless Mango Vodka will transport your taste buds to a sunny beach getaway. New flavor, still the same carbless crafted cocktails with 0 carbs, 0 sugars, and only 100 calories. Enjoy a refreshing vodka cocktail without the guilt. 4 packs of the new Carbless Mango Vodka cocktail are available in stores near you. Find your bliss today at drinkcarbless.com and escape with every sip.
Wherever you are in Wisconsin, there's a free and confidential Aging and Disability Resource Center, ADRC, or Tribal Partner Agency. We're here for older adults, adults with disabilities, and your families. ADRCs are a bridge to support for benefits and financial assistance, transportation, in-home care, and more. Get to know your local ADRC and connect with resources today. Call toll-free 1-844-WIS-ADRC or go to findmyadrc.org. Paid for by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
So many of our youth carry unimaginable burdens. Anger, depression, even thoughts of suicide. At Rawhide Youth Services, we recognize their pain. We help them find hope and healing. For those that need a second chance at life, we refuse to give up on them. Please be a part of our life-saving work. When you donate your used vehicle to Rawhide, you're helping change the lives of countless youth in our communities. Go to rawhide.org/donate and help them realize a brighter future today.
One call, that's all. It's not just a slogan, but a way of life at Gruber Law Offices. If you've been injured, call our team today. We've represented tens of thousands of injured Wisconsinites for well over 30 years. Trust Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Oh my gosh, Allie, did you look at Janet's roof? Ugh, it's like so flat. It looks like one of those roofing contractor commercials.
Who even understands those roofing guys anyways?
I like flat roofs and I cannot lie. You what the contractors can't deny. TPO way up high. I'm hooked and I can't stop staring.
If you want a roof that's worth staring at, Avondale Roofing is where you go. Your roofing experts for over 30 years. AvondaleRoofing.com.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
A Brewers group outing is the best way to celebrate any special occasion. Whether it's a birthday party, anniversary, or bachelor party, baseball is better with a group. Grab your crew of just 15 or more for an event you won't forget. Brewers account reps make your day at the ballpark a breeze. Plus, get set up with customizable tailgate spaces, seating blocks in your favorite location at American Family Field, and much more. Start planning your group outing now at brewers.com/groups.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
She's so sweet with her get back stare. Well, I can see you.
We welcome in 100.5 ESPN Madison after the Brewers win 3-2 in extras. Bryce Terang lays down a squeeze bunt in the bottom of the 11th, 1 out. The Brewers get it done, win the rubber match against the Kansas City Royals, now 2-4 after a horrid start. Run differential didn't get help today.
Who cares? That doesn't matter. We'll
A dub is a dub.
Give
Camille's
wins.
wins.
Give victories, baby.
2 on our way to 84 that we need.
2 out of 84 for the over.
2 more, baby.
Okay.
We should put some.
I actually, I'm going to create a graphic where it's like a long printout, and I'm going to cross out each win.
I don't want you to
You don't want me to do anything?
You just leave it alone.
Yeah, the more you invest into it, the more it's going to
You
go.
are talking down to me right now.
I'm not talking down to you. I'm talking up to my Milwaukee Brewers. That's what it is. It's not even about my money at this point. Whatever, $10, it is what it is. I lost enough.
Wow.
I want my I want my Brewers to be successful.
But think about what that $10 could do for a good BOGO, Kyle.
It could help. Could cover.
That's 2 deals.
10 plus the winnings.
Gosh, the winnings pay for the BOGO. It's free. But something I can't suffer through is a losing season of the Milwaukee Brewers.
It's so early.
I am just the Packers, the way that they're trending, that they're going to be good, but they're also probably going to lead to heartbreak, and the Badgers are going to suck. I can't go into September with the Brewers just not playing for anything.
Yeah, that would stink. From suck to heartbreak to stink.
I will say, we talk about the Packers and trying to, how can we get that championship level? Well, the Badgers football was in a similar situation where they're always good, but they're never the national champion. And now they're bad. And I'm just depressed about it.
This is the worst.
I don't even want, it's one of those things where I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. I just my Saturdays in the fall are just not the same. And that's the team that I have a heart for most.
Can y'all believe that 5 wins is the expectation? We all would be okay, 5 wins, they got to it, but you'll be disappointed, but you're like, that's about right. Oh, that's
especially this year.
Oh,
if it's 5.5, I might take the under with this schedule.
Yeah, it might be.
Look at betting Brad.
I mean, how about I just slid that in there?
Oh
betting
my
Brad.
goodness! Will it be 4.5, Ben?
It'll be 5.5.
I've seen 5.5 on very early, because there's going to be a whole other transfer portal and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. Usually, we're just talking about this in the break. Usually, spring ball, we'd be like, let's go. Who's the quarterback? How we looking? Now,
when is spring ball?
Right now.
You're joking.
They're we're 8 practices still.
Yeah, in the midst of it
I'm
right
not
now.
even lying. They are legitimately.
How are the SWAC transfers? How's the Grambling State guy?
I'm sure he's looking good on the Instagram feed.
Sad, man.
He did his squat fest. I'm sure he put up a lot of weight.
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
The kid from Grambling
Ryan
State,
from
shout out to you.
Iguanago, the Badgers will not suck. They are just average right now. Bet they win 6. Saying
6.
that out loud makes me want to cringe.
Be embarrassingly low. 6 wins for the Wisconsin Badger football team.
Oh gosh, wow! Expectations have just dwindled down.
To bring it back to what you were saying, Kyle,
help me, Brewers. We need you to do well.
Brewers, Packers, Bucks. Look, we can want championships, but there is an appreciation for being good.
Hey, maybe that was good perspective.
Yeah.
No groupthink there.
Yeah, we're trying to balance out this conversation.
Kyle, if the Brewers are bad, you'll be happy with the Packers winning 9 to 11 games and getting to the divisional round.
That's not how it works.
Yeah,
but do you need more out of that franchise?
No,
then?
Losing hurts me. I don't care what it is, y'all. That misery is misery. Just because the Brewers.
Did you know you're a loser more than you're a winner?
Yes, I do understand that. Trust me. I see
the
it
impact on your brain. You're saying
no. Huh?
Or what these teams do to you?
Oh yeah. They give me
everyone's a
enjoyment.
loser every year except one team.
Yeah, I know, and it stinks. It really does.
Why do we do this?
Because it's fun.
It is fun
to watch and get
Sports
excited.
Are fun.
Sports are fun.
We like sports.
Strofe, why do you like sports? Because you stunk at them?
Yeah. I really want to know why you like them.
Why I like sports? Because I like competition. I like athleticism. I like watching things that you can't predict what's going to happen next.
Or you can't do yourself.
It's like a great movie, but you get a new one every day. It's like I don't even know where to begin. Sports are everything. They're everything you could ever ask.
It's the only unscripted
Keep it easy
drama.
now, because just in case your girlfriend is listening, sports are not everything.
Sports are everything.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Do you think sports mean more to you because you can't do them well?
I think sports mean more to me because I actually genuinely enjoy the passion and the drama and the fireworks that come every night.
That Brad and I got to feel.
Brad and Ben got to be a part of them and feel them.
And you got to
lose
sit
in
on the
playoffs.
sideline.
Playoffs, excuse me. I stood, you only traveled with 55 for the national championship, but I was on the team that lost in the national championship. I was
You
on the
didn't
scout
travel
team.
for that?
We traveled, but we weren't actually suited up because you can only travel like 55 kids. I was not
where
one of
were
the
you?
55. We were Salem. I was sitting in the bleachers.
You went and watched.
The whole team went. You go and watch
You
and
watched
support.
the team you were
It's
on from the
Division
bleachers?
III.
Cheerleader Kyle.
Yeah, I sure was. I got them ready to lose that game. I was on scout team.
How much responsibility do you take for that loss?
Zero. Absolutely zero.
Kyle struggling with accountability. Shocker.
Shocker
Zero.
indeed.
Hey, I wasn't on the field during the
I
game.
got them ready. How much do you have anything to do with it? Zero.
I would have locked Cecil Shorts up. No, I'm just kidding. Cecil, shout out to Jeremy Diebert and Troney
Cecil
Shumpert.
Shorts, huh?
Troney Shumpert?
Yeah, yes.
Cecil Shorts is a D3 guy?
Yeah, Mount Union Cecil Shorts.
No kidding.
Torched us that game.
I didn't
boy.
know that.
He did this into the camera as he scored on us.
The Michael Jordan? Or no,
Well,
the
it was-
Michael Jordan security
Yeah,
guard.
the usher guy.
It was before that. We looked in the camera like, I'm smoking him. I said, dang.
Jim, Matt, and Molly up next in Madison. Corey and Wally in the Damn Sports Show in Beaver Dam. We continue in college.